Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the event safety briefing for this weekend's Max Adventure Race in Brisbane. Really looking forward to welcoming you all along to the event, and we hope you have a terrific time completing the course. Before we get started, I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the traditional custodians upon whose land we will be meeting and pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging. The first item I want to touch on in this video is the event program. The event program is a treasure trove of information about the event. If you haven't already had a look at it, we recommend doing so prior to Saturday. The event program was emailed out to all the teams. It's also available on the website under the latest news section, so make sure you have a good read of that before Saturday. One of the things you'll probably be most interested in the event program is how you go about getting to and where to park at the event. That information is contained within the event program, so make sure you check that out. One of the big things I want to talk about in this video is safety. As an adventure race, you'll all be traveling in teams of 2 on Saturday. If you get into any difficulties on course, your first point of call will be your teammate. So although the rule is that you must stay within 100 meters of each other at all times, we recommend staying a lot closer so that not only can you work together to navigate and work your way around the course, it also means you're close at hand should your teammate come into any difficulties. If you are heading along the course and you come across another team that is in difficulty and needs some assistance, please stop and provide any assistance you can. If needed, grab the next team that comes along, send them further along the course to the next marshal point or transition area where they'll be able to let us know the nature of the injury and where it is located so we can initiate the appropriate first aid response. If you do stop and help any teams out on course with first aid issues or anything like that, we can credit you any time back that you spend helping them. So that's just another little incentive to stop and help other in teams as you go along. Another important safety thing for this event is that some of you will be traveling alongside roads where there could be cars and buses moving around, especially on the novice course. Near the end of your course, after you drop your bikes off, you come back to the event centre, the start finish area, on foot, and you'll travel alongside car parking, a bus bay, and then down the access road into the event centre where there will be participants parked on the side of the road as well. Just keep an eye out for those cars. If there's a footpath or anything like that, make sure you use that rather than running where the cars will be moving about. For all teams, as you're leaving the event centre, especially if you parked inside the South East Queensland water gates that lead down to the event centre, be aware there could be teams coming down that road, moving around that area, so take special care when leaving. Please be aware that none of the trails that we are using this Saturday are closed. That means there will be other users on them, plenty of walkers, riders, things like that. They have as much right to be on the trails as you do, so please give them plenty of space, allow them to enjoy the beautiful location as much as you are. For you classic teams, one of your last checkpoints gets you up close to an area which is outside the National Park gates and could see four-wheel drives or trail bikes moving in that area. It is uncommon, but it can happen, so please just be aware of that. You'll probably hear them before you see them, so whenever you're on the fire trails riding, it's a good idea anyway to ride in single file, stick to the left like you normally would. It is still warm and hot up in Brisbane, which means that snakes can still be out and about. Make sure you give them plenty of space. If you see any, let them be. They are more scared of you than you are of them. So give them plenty of space, let them get out of the way. Warn other teams if they are in an area where other teams are moving around. When you're on the bikes, we ask that you ride to your ability. It is a race. However, we're asking that you do not try to ride at the very limit of your ability. which increases the risk of you having an accident and ending up on the deck. Ride to your ability. If you need to get on the brakes, especially on some of the short, steep, downhill sections, get on the brakes and slow down, and that'll be a better result for you in the long run than the alternative. You might need to get off and walk in some short sections. Please do so. There'll be plenty of other teams doing the same thing. The trails aren't technical though. You'll just be crossing some creeks and things like that where it could be a bit rocky and a bit more difficult. So just take time in those areas. As I mentioned earlier, the weather is going to be quite warm on Saturday. That means you need to carry plenty of water. We require you to carry a minimum of 2 litres per person. So that's 4 litres on the team. So make sure you have the capacity to carry that much water. There is no water at the event centre, so make sure you come along with plenty of water. At one of the locations where you leave your bikes and go out on the kayaks, there is water available there if you need to fill up, and we recommend you filling up as you go through that location on the course. Mentioning the reservoir, the dam that we're racing around on Saturday, you cannot swim in the dam. We don't have permission for any swimming activities to take place. So it might be tempting on some of the legs to cut across some of the inlets of the lake by swimming across. However, that is not allowed under our approval, so please no swimming during the event. Speaking of kayaking, when you get to the kayaking legs, make sure you grab the paddle, wear your life jacket, your PFD. There's plenty that will be available there, so select the appropriate size and away you go. You'll need to carry your kayak a short distance up and down the slope to get into and out of the water. Please carry the kayaks, do not drag the kayaks, otherwise you end up damaging the kayak. It slowly fills with water, and make sure paddle a lot slower. If you have younger team members and you need assistance carrying, please grab one of the event staff that are at that location, or ask a friendly local team to help you just carry the short distances, only around 20-30 metres, to and from the water's edge. When you are kayaking, you must have enclosed footwear on at all times. So you must be wearing shoes when in the kayak. No taking your shoes off and leaving them behind. Make sure you have covered footwear. For you classic course teams, there will be a couple of bonus checkpoints on the course. These bonus checkpoints, if you collect them in the right order, as per your course description, will give you a time credit. So you might receive 15 minutes off your time if you collect that bonus checkpoint. However, that does not account for any time it takes you to get that bonus checkpoint. So it might not be worth getting 20 minutes of bonus time if it takes you 22 minutes to actually collect that checkpoint. So take that into consideration when planning your course. There'll also be areas on the map for both the classic and the novice teams that are marked as out of bounds. Obviously you can't travel through those out of bounds area. Please respect them. Look out for signs as well when you're on the course for trails that are closed. You do not have to travel along any closed trails, so please do not do so. They are closed for a reason. Equally, when you're on your bikes, please respect the signs that say these tracks are for foot traffic only, no bikes allowed, and only ride on the trails that are designated for bikes, not on the walking tracks. When you arrive to the event on Saturday morning, come along to registration. We'll give you your race bag, which will have your map, your course description, and some other information, timing chip, and a wristband to attach that timing chip should you wish to use it. When you're planning your course, a common mistake we see teams make is that they do not look at the course description. They mainly focus on the map. Make sure you look at the map in conjunction with the course description. They work together to explain where you're going to go, what checkpoints you're going to be collecting, and all those sort of things. And especially for you novice course teams, make sure you come along to registration, get registered, and then attend the novice tips and tricks navigation session, which we will be holding at registration in the lead up to the start. Check the event program for the timings for that. I'll make some announcements as well in the morning to make sure you don't miss it, but that will be invaluable for you novice course teams helping you understand what you're doing, where you're going, and what you're looking for on the course. That's all for me for now. Hope you enjoy the last couple of days before the event, and we look forward to seeing you on Saturday morning bright and early. Thanks very much.